Yeah. Selection Sunday, baby.
Selection Sunday.
No other day like it.
Do 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 do.
Hey, don't get us a strike.
Yeah, I was about to.
I don't even want to hear what they're talking about
Oh
on
my goodness.
CBS right now.
Jay Wright in the building.
Jay Wright still got really good hair.
Yeah.
Might need to go back to Nova after that debacle.
You heard the rumored coach for Villanova, right?
Oh.
Collins.
Yep.
That's interesting.
Especially after Collins was sort of complaining about how Northwestern is treated in the Big Ten down the stretch. If I recall, he had something along the lines of, like, he kind of gave a "Hey, this is what they do to us" kind of response after getting screwed on a call. He was like, "Yeah, this is just what happens here," or whatever. Sounded pretty frustrated. Hard to blame him, but
Pretty handcuffed. Yeah.
handcuffed and, like, you're definitely not getting anything resembling a star whistle or anything like that at Northwestern. I mean, there's no way,
Hey man, I like it. I approve. Let me get to. We let a little bit more people come in. Slow grind today. It's not after a game.
Rick
But
Pitino up there right now.
oh, Queens, New York. He's literally like 10 minutes from me right now.
Go crash their party.
Absolutely not.
A man looks like Al Pacino and Devil's Advocate at this point, you know?
Yeah, this is that's your expertise, not mine.
Yeah. I'm in the dark, Charlie. You know, that's a different movie, but still a good bit.
We gotta welcome back Ryan in, but I'll wait till the actual audio starts, you know. So let me just play the intro.
Do it.
The three of you guys, man, thank you for what you guys do, and appreciate you guys having me on.
We were trying not to score everything. We hit about 33s or something.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of felt that. We kind of feed off that energy.
This place is amazing. Like I really love Duke, and I love the atmosphere I'm in here.
Mark Williams, beast mode. Paolo first half, he had the cramping stuff. Fair enough. Beast mode.
We're back. 4 days in a row. Fourth episode. Oh no, we didn't do it. Third day in a row.
Rewind.
Third day in a row. It doesn't matter. You know, you lose track when you're winning so much. We're back. Crazy Cast, big selection Sunday. About to see what the path will be to number 6. I'm here with Russ, and we got a familiar face. We haven't seen him in, like, 5 months. I think the last time he did a show was last season. But we got our guy Ryan back. Ryan's back. Let me get
Hey, appreciate you guys. It was like January. It's been like 2 months, maybe it was December. It was January, I think. But it's good to be back. I appreciate everybody reaching out. Everything was okay. It's just life got a lot busier these last few months, and it was hard to prioritize this over some other things. So appreciate everybody welcoming me back. It's good to be back. This is honestly, like, I feel like this has kind of become tradition at this point. This is what, like, year 3 probably in a row of doing this, or at least reacting to it. I don't know about watching it. So it's kind of, and I'm a big traditions guy. So, like, this is awesome for me. I'm excited to be back. Probably one of my favorite shows, one of my favorite days of the year. So yeah, man, this is going to be fun, Duke. And I don't know if we've been able to do this where Duke was, like, in contention. Well, will be a 1 seed, but in contention for potentially the top overall seed. Last few years, it hasn't been that way.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's I'm excited to be here. Appreciate you guys having me back.
You said appreciate you guys having me back. Like, like he's
Hey,
a guest or
J-Man,
something.
J-Man did a great job. I tuned in a few times. J-Man was awesome. So I appreciate him filling in as well, and I'm sure he'll be back on in no time. But yeah, also this logo is huge. I never wear this hat very often because it's not my favorite, but someone said that logo is huge. Yeah, it's as big as my head. But
Oh my goodness.
so I can't let Russ be the only one rocking a Duke hat, and his is from back when he was a kid. So we got to freshen it up a little bit.
True.
Uh,
It's true.
but yeah, Ryan's back. This is the Selection Sunday show. We will, before the show gets underway, we're just going to talk through some things, our thoughts, answer your questions before we ultimately get the reveal. Obviously, Duke is going to be a 1 seed, and in the East, we know that's a lock. So you know, we're going to find out who we're playing and what the path is. But yeah, off the bat, I mean, we got a question off the bat. Where was it? Russ, give us the answer, man. Billy Baker asks, who do you guys want in our region?
Well, I mean, it'll be Tennessee or Alabama at the 2. Considering Alabama's defensive concerns and considering they might have health concerns with Grant Nelson, I mean, that sort of feels like the one where we would be favored by more. But I mean, Tennessee and Alabama are both really, really good. I have no strong leaning, given that one is like pure offensive, like octane, and the other is like pure defensive, like brick wall. Very, very different styles. I'm not sure which one we do better. I guess I lean Alabama, but either way would be tough. In terms of the 8-9, I don't know that I care either there. Like, I don't think there's a team that we shouldn't be favored over by like double figures in that round. Obviously, weird things can happen, but as we talked about yesterday, a lot of those teams have like 1 or 2 really good guys. I think we match up really well with teams that are dependent on 1 or 2 guys. So I have no real leanings there. The 4 seeds are obviously where it gets a little more interesting. Let me pull up like who's predicted at Bracket Matrix. I mean, look, you've got some like interesting stuff going on there. We obviously beat Arizona earlier this year. Purdue doesn't really have any big men, so like I think that would be a pretty decent matchup for us. Like Maryland has like the 2 big lineup, and Gillespie's been playing really well. But again, assuming that Cooper is playing well, I like that matchup too. I mean, and also they're going to give us Maryland for the Duke Maryland of it all. Like I feel like that's almost a stone cold lock. It's either Maryland or like Michigan if you think Michigan's still a 4.
Can I cut you off real quick, Russ? There's people in the comments that are saying Goodman's leaking our region or leaking. That's not there. That's the Field of 68's projections. It's not.
Yeah, it's definitely
real,
not a leak.
Definitely not. It's not. Yeah, it's just their projections, their final projections. So that's not official yet. Although a lot of those matchups won't be surprising. Sorry, Russ. I just wanted to cut you off before people thought it was.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we were talking privately that they always talk about the S curve, and I kind of think there's a bit of hokum there because like at the end of the day, they also want to give matchups that people are going to want to see. That's why every year they're like, boy, how weird is it that this former player is playing against his old team in the second round? How strange that the S curve worked out that way. Like they're going to set things up. So, I mean, I think UConn being on the 8 line makes a lot of sense. Or maybe Memphis, given the Nolan Smith of it all. Baylor is the 9. I know Zion you brought up because Jeremy Roach is there. There's stuff there. And then for the 4, Maryland, if they gave us Arizona again because of the Caleb Love thing, wouldn't stun me.
Russ, what was, I don't know if you mentioned this, what's the reasoning behind it being Tennessee and Alabama and not St. Or what about Michigan State? Or just because you have Florida and Houston, or Florida and Auburn. Yeah.
That's correct. So because there are 2 SEC 1 seeds and 2 SEC 2 seeds, they're not going to line up a 1 and a 2 seed from the SEC opposite one another, I don't think. I mean, like maybe they could, but I would be very, very surprised if they went that route. Yeah. I think it's far more likely that we will draw Tennessee or Alabama than it is. I know Michigan State's always a tradition And certainly St. John's with the Newark of it all, was something that I had talked about ages ago as being something I was a little afraid of in terms of playing a road game in the regional. But I think it'll be Tennessee or Alabama. So, yeah, I don't know if there's any team that I want more than other teams. I do think Texas A&M also is another team where they're really tough. They're annoying, but they give up a lot of threes. Like we saw what happened with them last year. So I think that's a matchup that probably works pretty well in our favor. I don't know. I mean, like you guys tell me. I mean, is there any team here? I don't think it's ego to say if Cooper is healthy, we should be good at least bare minimum until the Elite Eight, unless some team just completely goes off, which always could happen. But
the nice thing is being the 1 seed is you draw from that 4 seed. You kind of like the 4 seed bracket that's the Sweet 16 game, I think. And none of those teams really scare me. I think we match up really well. We already played Arizona, and obviously that was a long time ago, but I think we match up well against them. We match up well against Michigan, in my opinion, with Golden it's Golden, right? Their big man. That would be an interesting matchup with Pat and Maluach. So interesting matchup there. But I think, again, Maryland's probably be the one that ends up in our pool, just it being in the East and the tradition there. I haven't watched a whole lot of Maryland, so I don't really want to make any comments. I know they score the ball really well. Other than that, I don't know if it's a game that we would want to have without Cooper, obviously. But none of those four seeds are like, oh, man, there's like a really hot team in there. Maryland, maybe, but like a team that really scares me from like, oh, man, we're going to get screwed with a 4 seed who's kind of been under the radar and coming on strong.
Yeah,
Maryland, for what it's worth, is almost certainly the strongest via like KenPom of the teams that would be on the 4 line. The weakest, assuming that this pans out this way, the weakest by far would be Michigan, because Michigan like only ever wins games by like 2 or 3 points, like ever.
Yeah, not scary at all.
Yeah, so but I do think there's a little bit of like the confidence factor of when you win every single close game. They would not be afraid of the moment. And they've got a really good coach. Like I think I could argue that they have the best coach, maybe of any team on the 4 line. So another factor there potentially.
You're not giving it the buzz.
No, yeah, I like Dusty May more than Buzz. I
know. I'm sarcastic.
I'd give it to Dusty or Tommy. I mean, I think Buzz is good, but Buzz is exactly who he is every year.
Yeah.
It's the same team every year, and it's a good team. It's like he's a good coach, but you know exactly what you're going to get with Texas A&M. I kind of think you know what you're going to get with Kevin Willard for the most part too. But they are. I mean, you got to give them credit more than scoring the ball. I mean, they're a top 6 defense. I mean. I think a lot of these teams with 2 big men have sort of gone that way. And Derek Queen, if you haven't watched Derek Queen play, he's a beast. Derek Queen is incredible.
He'd be one that we'd want Malik back for big time.
I don't even think Malik can really guard him with his shoulder at this point.
That's what I'm saying. But I'm like, yeah.
Well, and Derek Queen's not really a he's not like a speedy perimeter player type either. Like he sort of plays like a real big man. He's just so good at passing the ball, and he's so creative. He's not like some uber athlete. He plays with pace, but like
he's physical. He's very skilled. More so plays. I think more skilled, at least footwork wise. Julius Randle, like in the fact that he could beat you from. He's maybe a younger Julius. Julius shoots too many threes now, but like he's just physical. He's a bulldozer, but he's actually very skilled. A little bit undersized for being a 5, but I mean, I wouldn't want to see him versus. I'd rather see Golden versus him, in my opinion.
I think he's an undersized 5 in terms of the league. I mean, I think for college, he's he's 6'10", 250 would be my guess, somewhere in there, right? Like, we got 4 minutes. Do we want to cover the 8s and 9s that we could potentially face up against before it? No.
The 8 and 9 is very just like it feels so fake to me. Like what has an 8 and 9 line been this loaded? Like
loaded with names, I would say.
It's still loaded because like even like look at this here where Marquette. I mean Memphis is the one that I don't feel is loaded, but even though they probably still have a first team All-American, second team All-American, and PJ Haggerty. Marquette has Cam Jones. UConn is UConn. Creighton, I mean, they're probably, in my opinion, the least with the star power, even though Kalkbrenner's cool and he doesn't impress me. But like, yeah, that just feels like it's a little loaded. Like, I remember 8 seeds being like San Diego State, not the Final Four team, but like that type of team. We're getting pretty big names here.
Well, it's also for the 8 seed, you've got the second, third, and fourth best team in the Big East if that holds, right? Like, so you know how they're going to play. You definitely have big star power. I mean, Cam Jones at Marquette is a star. At UConn, you've got Caravan, you've got obviously the coach, Creighton Kalkbrenner. I mean, Stephen Ashworth, I think is a phenomenal point guard who's very old, right? Very experienced. I agree with Memphis, and especially somebody brought up, the Tyrese Hunter's probably down at least bare minimum for the first weekend. I mean, if that's the case, give me Memphis, I suppose.
They got to win.
Yeah, that's true. They also have to win. I mean, even
I didn't see it. When did Hunter get hurt today, or was it
today or yesterday?
Okay, I didn't see it. That I'm not as far behind.
I saw him on the sideline. I barely watched the Memphis game today. I'll be honest. I watched like 5 minutes of it. So I think it was yesterday, but I could be wrong. Even the 9. I mean, Mississippi State and New Mexico. I mean, New Mexico's got 2 dudes that are real good. Baylor's obviously got Edgecombe and Wright. And if Jeremy, is he even playing? Is Jeremy playing at this point?
Yeah, he was at least the other night in the tournament.
Oh, he did. Okay. And then Mississippi State, I mean, they got Hubbard, who is an absolute monster. So I mean, yeah, there's teams there for sure.
I mean, here's the thing. I was seating wise, I'm curious, and like location wise, like would they give us a UConn 8 and Baylor 9, or even a UConn 8, Memphis 9? Like it's just I know they would, but like. To me, it would be wild to have it be like you're reigning back-to-back national champion going up against one of the biggest brands. I get it for like ratings on a 1-8 level.
You made the case for it just now,
right? But you're knocking out I kind of did. I'm hoping for like a Memphis Baylor or like a Memphis Georgia or like something that like as a 1 seed, like I don't want to get. And who knows, like UConn can move up to that 7 line. I think that you can make a case for UConn going up to that 7 line, Marquette maybe even moving up to the 7 line. I'm not sure. I'm convinced that Gonzaga is going to be on that 7 line, or even Missouri at this point. So, again, like there always can be some fluctuation there. I'm not afraid to play UConn. I do think we match up really well against UConn, and the fact that it's more so the coach and Caravan that kind of get to me. I'm not. The other teams, Marquette, I feel like we could handle defensively at least. Creighton as well. Anybody else in the line? It just, UConn, I feel like we match up well against it. Just from like a society standpoint and a fan standpoint, like I just don't want to deal with that. I don't like. Can you imagine playing UConn in the second round as a 1 seed?
I mean, they're according to KenPom, they're about the strength of a 9 seed. I think 8-9 is exactly where they sort of belong. The crazier line here is the 7 seeds, which we don't have to worry about, at least not off the top. But Gonzaga is a 7. They're the strength of a 3 seed, like almost of a 2 seed, according to KenPom. Mizzou is the strength of a 4 seed. St. Mary's is the strength of like a 5 seed, 6 seed. I mean, like that is all of those 2 seeds except for the one. And then you've got Kansas, who, when they play well, can beat just about anybody. It's just a question of like, do they like each other enough, right, to play well?
It's really interesting you say that. Like, I'm looking at KenPom, I had it up, but I didn't like even look at where the 7 seeds are, and like almost all the 7 seeds are higher or are higher than a lot of the seeds below them.
Very much so.
Or better than them, which is especially the 6 line.
All right, we're gonna reel it in. We're about to get started here.
R.I.P. Greg Gumbel, man. We're not having him.
Rest in peace to Greg Gumbel. Quickly, is Carolina getting a tournament?
No.
Let's hope so.
I think they wanted to. They wanted them to. I thought they were going to get the play-in game. I don't think they're going to anymore.
Let's see. I am expecting in the upcoming moments for Auburn to be announced as the number 1 overall in the South bracket.
Yeah.
Goodman tweeted that. I don't know why he tweeted that though. Like asking if Shire was going to pick between Atlanta or Newark. Like Newark, we're not going to Atlanta, SEC country to play March Madness.
Let me move over here. Sorry, I'm trying to get down where I've got like a little desk set up so I can do what I always do. I always have a piece of paper and a pencil, and I write down all the teams in the bracket. I don't even have like the printed up one. I have a blank piece of paper, and I make my own bracket every year. I've done it since I can remember. What is this?
That's awesome.
I'm getting the close up. What a dramatic close up of a blank piece of paper. There
I thought you actually wrote something on it.
No. It's blank, man. They haven't started the show yet.
Oh, there's the trophy. There's the trophy.
It's funny, Russ. I think last year was the first year I didn't do it, but like when I was a kid, I would host a bracket pool, and I'd make all my family members mail me their brackets, and I would score them by hand with the highlighters and stuff. So I can appreciate your by hand method there.
There it is.
Respect.
Auburn is number 1.
Yeah.
Playing in Lexington, that could get tricky for them though, because Kentucky fans will show up just to root against Auburn. That's in Rupp too, right? That's in Rupp Arena.
Yeah. I need everybody who's listening to realize that Auburn was number 1 in literally every resume metric by like a healthy margin. Like this is not weird. I know we are a top KenPom. We have the best predictive metrics, but at the end of the day, you're picking your number 1 overall team based on resume. And Auburn has clearly the best resume. I had so many people in my
Whoa! Louisville got an 8?
Oh, and they're playing in Kentucky too. So that's,
oh wow, that's dangerous. That's dangerous for Auburn.
I think Auburn can handle business.
That's a home game.
Yeah,
hey, give me Louisville over Auburn. Give me Louisville over Auburn. Or Creighton. Ooh. Creighton comes in with a 9. Ooh. Sorry, I got to mute because I like hearing this stuff.
You guys are too low on Auburn. What I was gonna say is Auburn. People keep telling me, they lost 3 of their last 4. It's like, yeah, but look who they played, and also there's no reason why the committee is just going to go, you lost 3 out of 4, so we've got to handle you differently. Like, what if you lost 3 out of 4 in February or 3 out of 4 in January? Like, none of that matters. Now, UC San Diego over Michigan, that I like. That's an upset I like.
Why do you like it, Russ?
UC San Diego, look at the record, 30-4. They're one of the best mid-major teams in the country by a lot. They're top 40 in KenPom. Michigan might only be favored by 2 points in that game. That's I'm not even going to get a great money line price for that. But yeah, and Michigan just plays with fire way too much, way too much. I know they're blessed. They've been kissed by the gods of basketball this year, and God bless. And I think Dusty May's a great coach, and they've got some real pieces there, like Danny Wolf and Vlad Golden. That's a real 1-2 punch. But if you play too many games where you're only winning by 2 or 3 points, ultimately you will pay the piper. Oh, and there we go. There's UNC in the tournament.
Oh my goodness, bro. How, bro? How? What?
Bubba Cunningham. Shout out to Bubba Cunningham, man.
Bubba Cunningham is a criminal. He needs to be arrested. I'm about to tweet that.
That's a joke, man. Wow.
And they absolutely could be Ole Miss too, and San Diego State.
Gonna need Jamin Brakefield to put on a show for us, save us from
Hey,
if
nah,
they get
you
there.
know what? You know
If
what?
they get there.
UNC Sweet 16 extend Hubert until 2035. That's what I say. That's what I say, dude.
Marquette comes in at a 7 seed. See, we're avoiding them already. Michigan State.
I don't think that's avoiding.
New Mexico all the way at a 10 is kind of rough. They're pretty good.
It's Donovan Dent.
That's right. And Nelly Jr. Joseph's real good too. Like Nelly is nuts, man. That kid is a beast.
Yeah, he needs to be arrested, man. Bubba Cunningham, lock him up, bro. Lock him up. That's as good as like betting on your own team when you're a player. That's trash.
Dude, but like you're never gonna leave. I've said this time and time again. You're never going to leave out the big name school, whether they deserve to get in or not. If it's even close. Once I saw everybody going, oh, they're on the first 4 out, I was like, they're probably in. You know, like I know I said no, they're not in. Maybe that was wishful thinking on my part, but I'm also not surprised in the slightest that you put one of the marquee teams in the sport in there for like, you know, for no reason.
It's crazy, man. Hold on, let me put up a live bracket tracker.
That Duke UConn matchup is so obvious. Just like you if you could go to Vegas right now. If you could go to Vegas right now and put money on it, you would clean up, man. Dan Hurley versus John Shire.
Oh, man.
If Duke wins or if Duke loses, Hurley's given an all-timer like presser afterwards. You know, it doesn't matter whether they win or lose because if they go up against Duke, like he's going off either way.
I don't know how that just happened, bro. I never would have seen it too. Like they just hid North Carolina's name there. Oh man, that's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I think Auburn coasts. I think Auburn absolutely coasts.
I don't know about that, man.
Cam Jones versus Donovan Dent is pretty sweet.
That's a first round matchup. Yeah,
that's going to be a fun one. I like that. That's going to be really, really cool.
Let me find the live bracket tracker.
It seems like people are saying. No, I'm gonna scroll down. I'm gonna see what I can suss out here as it pertains to this. But you know, like one of the things that UNC had was their non-conference strength of schedule was 5th, right? So maybe there's a world in which I think it'll be interesting to see as we break down like some of these other guys who sneak in. How many of the ones who snuck in also had beastly strength of schedule in the non-con, regardless of whether they actually won the games or not? You know, maybe that's what they're rewarding this year. And San Diego State, I mean, same thing. Their non-conference strength of schedule was 7. You know, I don't know. There's something to that. I want to look and see who the other highest non-con strength of schedules are. That makes me very curious.
This is crazy, bro. How did UNC get into the?
So Oklahoma's at like 11. Baylor's at 7. So Baylor, you know, might be get a little more value maybe.
Every single bracketologist before 10 minutes before this selection Sunday started, a show started, had UNC out of the tournament. Even Joe Lenardi's bum ass.
And the fact that and they put Louisville as an 8 seed, so it's not like they even like rated any like the other one to compare them to from the ACC is not rated where I feel like they probably should be, and so it still is downplaying what you had on UNC's resume. You know what I mean? Like as far as ACC goes, probably needed a bid stealer today though. Yeah, like NDV just said, probably needed a UAB or a George Mason today to come through.
I mean, keep in mind too, as it pertains to Louisville, they don't watch those Friday and Saturday games basically. Like, so they probably didn't even get much credit for beating Clemson. So then, what's their resume look like? Like, that's okay. It's like good enough to get in. But
I'll believe that, Russ, if Florida stays as the fourth number 1 seed.
I think Florida will stay as the 4th number 1 seed.
If that happens, then okay, I believe that.
Yeah. Well, also Florida won today, so. Oh, you mean because they didn't win? Yeah, but like they still had like 10 Q1 wins before this weekend. You know, they had a great.
Oh, there we go.
Is this us?
Yes, sir.
Right.
Friday in Raleigh. I could have told you that. I'm a bracketologist.
They put us across the so we would not get Auburn in the Final Four. That's nice. They're trying to set up that Duke Auburn finals if it's a possibility.
American Mount St. Mary's, American Patriot League. One of my rivals in college. Have not watched them this year though.
Hey, shout out to American. I used to live right by the campus, man.
You used to live in DC?
Yes, sir.
Mississippi State. Ooh.
Okay, and then who's the 9?
Okay.
Let's see about that
It's
9.
gotta be
Let's see
Baylor.
about that 9.
It's gotta be Baylor. It's gotta be Baylor. Yep, there it is. They
Is
trying
it
to set up
Baylor?
the Barry Roach. Oh my goodness.
All right, I don't mind that. I mean, Mississippi State isn't like they're still good. Oregon is they have that weird thing where like Oregon tends to just like start to beast in the tournament because they like play tricky. Like Dana Altman's kind of weird that way. Liberty's good though.
I'm pretty sure I tweeted this mid-season that Baylor is.
What's the 4? Let's see. Arizona. I said that Caleb Love, man. Let's see, and Akron.
Oh, we got Arizona.
Yeah.
Oregon. That's a weak number 5.
Dude, I like this. Arizona and Oregon. I'm not saying like I'm not being too confident, but like it could have been way worse.
Russ,
it is a weak number 5. Oregon is about the same strength as Mississippi State in terms of predictive, but Oregon just plays like that funky. Like they play funky. They're hard to prepare for. I might take Oregon to the Sweet 16. I'm not gonna lie.
So predictable. Possible Jeremy Roach.
I can't believe they didn't go the UConn route. I'm stunned. I'm stunned. I could have sworn that they were going to set up Dan Hurley there, man. Wisconsin is the 3. Interesting.
Yeah, I'm not scared of them.
Give us Wisconsin, man.
Why am I sharing my tweets?
I know. We just got to see you do your.
It's going to be the 1 versus the 2 here. It's going to be the 1
for all your.
Nasty.
I was right. Tweets.
Yeah, you know, I had to do a special.
That's how he does it, folks.
Back, baby. Okay, let me try to. Where's this East?
St. Mary's. Now that's interesting.
As the what? The 6?
As the 7.
Vanderbilt.
Oh, Vanderbilt got in. Good for them.
Good for them, man.
I like that
Mark
coach. He's a real good coach.
Yeah, we cooked them last year, though. And who's the 2? Who's the 2? Obviously, Tennessee.
Gotta be Alabama.
Or Alabama. Okay.
That's my guess. It hadn't popped up on my screen yet.
Me neither. Alabama. Yeah. All right.
I like our region. I don't know. I mean,
I'm not mad at it. Bama's just so feast or famine. They're either going to blow teams out by 40 or it might get dicey, you know.
15 Robert.
I don't know who's. I mean, I don't know who besides Robert Morris who's stopping Alabama. I mean, St. Mary's isn't that good in my opinion.
I mean, Wisconsin is the interesting one there. And then I bet BYU might be a sexy pick for people because in the last 2 months of the season, BYU was just absolutely a flamethrower. So that'd be a really fun Sweet 16 game, BYU Bama.
This is the problem with so many SEC teams. Alabama's going to face this SEC team in the second round, most likely. Unless St. Mary's win. But
yeah, St. Mary's is good. I mean, but St. Mary's also tends to not do very well in the I think they haven't made the Sweet 16 since 2010 or something.
Yeah, they're normally a lock first weekend out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't think St. Mary's beats Alabama.
I don't know anything about Mississippi State. I can't say I watched a lot of their games this year. Any insight on you or no?
Yeah, I mean, the big thing with Mississippi State, I mean, Chris Jans is a really good coach. Josh Hubbard, they're just like the Josh Hubbard show in a huge way.
Gunner. He is a gunner.
And he can ball. He's a gunner, but he's also pretty high efficiency gunner. He draws fouls at a real good rate. He takes care of the ball. He's got great assist to turnover. Takes a ton of shots. It's just if you're super leveraged on a 5'11" point guard against this Duke team,
yeah,
I don't know. I mean, Cam Matthews is pretty good. I mean, they definitely get at. They play tough. They don't beat themselves. I don't know, at least not from what I've seen. But they can't shoot threes. They give up a lot of threes. So, I mean, I'm sure that's going to be their plan against us is play real physical inside, force Duke to make threes, and beat them that way. That's what I would suspect is going to be their game plan because that's what teams have done against us a number of times this year. So, I'm not too worried about that. And then the Baylor matchup, I mean, I guess we're pretty familiar with Baylor at this point.
We played Ormir at Miami. We know Roach. We scouted Edgecombe like crazy.
Dude, they have no big man at this point.
Exactly.
No big man.
Tom was is he hurt? Is that his name? Is it Chomchua? I don't know how to pronounce it.
Yeah. He's done. He's done for the year. They're playing Omir at the 5.
Omir gave us work though past couple of years, but obviously he's a different Duke team.
And he was also. I feel like when he gave us work, he was at the 4 with Miami, right?
I think so.
Might have been, but hey, they got to win.
I'm not mad at the draw.
Could have been way worse.
No, Omir was at the 5. I stand corrected. They just had Nwoko in the back. They had Wooga Poplar in Cleveland and George, right? They had guys who were 6'7", 6'8" around him, whereas this Baylor team is obviously very small, right? Yeah. You've got Rob Wright's 6'1", Jeremy's 6'1", 6'2", Edgecombe's 6'5", but
he's 6'3".
Okay,
he's
all right.
6'3", 6'4", yeah.
Either way, he's not a Sion level 6'4" or whatever. No. He's thin. He's a freak, but he's thin. Also, I mean, Duke should beat either of those teams.
Also, a plus. These are the someone said what's on the screen. These are the KenPom odds. Quick odds for Duke and just everybody in the East region of making Final Four. Obviously, 53% for Duke. Surprisingly, 18%. I don't know if that's a large number. It seems small compared to 53 though. For Alabama, and then everyone else in the single digits.
The odds, I tell people every year, the odds of a 1 seed making the Final Four are so much higher than the 2 seed or the 3 seed. And so then when you add on top of that Duke and from the predictive metrics is really, really good. I guess I'm not over a coin flip is crazy. That just means that you're not gonna be able to get good betting odds at all. But also if you're doing futures, you're not betting on Duke unless you're picking them literally the second the season ends.
Yeah.
The some offensive numbers from our region. Duke 3rd, Alabama 4th, BYU 11th, Arizona 12th, Wisconsin 13th, and Baylor 16th. All teams in our region all ranked in the top 16 in offensive efficiency.
What's Baylor's defense?
I don't know. That was a Jeff
Bad.
Brazell tweet. Probably bad.
It says 58. That's honestly higher than I thought it was. I'm seeing somebody say on here that like Alabama might be the most dangerous 2 seed, and I think that's probably true. It's just I think they're a little higher variance than a team like Tennessee or even of St. John's, right? Like because like all of the other number 2 seeds are top 5 defenses. St. John's the best defense, Tennessee top 3 defense, Michigan State top 5 defense. Alabama, it still says, is 32nd in defense, and they obviously have racked up a number of really impressive wins this year. But and they got experience too. They're one of the top 10 oldest teams in the country, so that there's something to be considered for that. But and I'm also seeing that Arizona is considered like a really dangerous 4 seed, which again I think is true in the sense that they're high octane, but like Duke.
Whoa. Are you still there, Ryan? Oh, okay. This man Russ dropped off.
I'm back.
Yeah.
There we go. I'm back.
I thought it was me. I thought I froze for a second.
No, I got my mind blown by the fact that Gonzaga is an 8 seed.
OVO
Clemson a 5 seed.
OVO, yeah, that's crazy. The disparity between Clemson and Louisville, that's a little nuts.
Well, the resume might be better for Clemson. Like I'd have to look at Clemson's resume versus Louisville's.
But that probably goes back to your point though that they didn't care about the conference tournaments whatsoever then because Louisville obviously beat Clemson.
Well, yeah, but that's also just one game.
Yeah,
Clemson
but
versus McNeese.
Louisville I think was 2-0 versus Clemson.
Where's Monty? Where's Monty? Clemson's losing round 1. Clemson's losing round 1, dude.
Oh yeah, that's tough.
Because of Amir Khan. Oh no, Will Wade obviously.
Yeah.
Shoot, Will Wade might need to come to the ACC. Apparently, well, not need, but like
he's looking. I can't believe Gonzaga is an 8. That sucks for Houston so bad. That's insane. God, that's insane.
Wow, Illinois is 6.
Honestly, the rest of the bracket almost doesn't even matter to me. It's
who else is playing in Raleigh? That's what I want to figure out right now.
Yeah, we'll see. I want to see my boy Kai responding to Gonzaga as an 8 seed. He's probably losing his mind right now.
Whoever's in the chat, send me whoever's playing in Raleigh because I'm not trying to search for that right now. Obviously, Duke is playing in Duke and Mississippi.
Hey, man, shout out Jim Root tweeting about how Gonzaga's an 8 seed is a joke.
Yo, UNC really got into the tournament, bro. That's crazy.
Yeah, guys saying Gonzaga 8 seed, the most underseeded team of all time.
I'm glad it's not our bracket.
Kentucky playing in they're not in Lexington. I saw the Lexington up there for a second.
Is that even legal?
To have Kentucky in Lexington?
Because you're playing in your home arena.
I don't remember. No, probably.
Yeah, I feel like
probably
you're not.
not.
Even if they were the number 1 overall seed, I don't think they'll be allowed to play in Kentucky. Okay, Ross said they haven't announced the second half of Raleigh. I'm just interested to see which fans are going to be in the crowd for the Duke game. But not that it shouldn't matter. I mean, Duke fans, if you don't pack out Raleigh next week,
Tennessee,
it's probably going to be UConn, isn't it?
That would be hilarious. But
wow, Florida versus St. John's is the final side of the bracket, man. That's crazy. That's crazy.
That's out west, right?
This is and those games are out west. Yeah, correct.
Damn, we jumped up in viewers once they announced.
I like the winner of Houston Gonzaga to go to the Final Four.
You're calling Gonzaga potentially in the Final Four?
That's my gut instinct. Yeah, is winner of Houston Gonzaga goes the rest of the way.
Gotta be Georgia first, buddy.
Zags will wash Georgia, dude.
Will it be Florida's pod in Raleigh? Who is that? Oh, well, Ryan dropped off now. Y'all just dropping like
I'm here. I just had to go on my phone because my computer for some reason isn't charging.
Okay. Will it be Florida's pod in Raleigh? That'll be fine. It might be even St. John's in Raleigh at this point.
Could be St. John's and Raleigh. I'm trying to see who else is left. So there's it'll be what? It'll be Florida. It'll be St. John's. It'll be Texas Tech. It'll be Maryland. That'd be funny if they put Maryland in Raleigh. Who else is there? Is Ole Miss in already? Ole Miss.
Yeah, Ole Miss is playing
UNC.
Who's the other five?
UNC.
Who's the other 5 seed? Is Michigan in? Oh, Michigan's in already. They're 5. I can't track this shit.
Yeah, let me see if whoever has the updated bracket. Very nasty, Bubba Cunningham. You got to see me, brother. One day. You said who's the other 5 seeds? The 5 seeds are Oregon, Michigan, and I guess the others haven't been updated on this site. Does Auburn make it out of the second weekend with all their latest struggles? I'd say so. I'd say, Louisville, if Louisville gets to that second round, it's still a home game. I'm going to keep on saying it's a home game in Lexington. It's a bad matchup for Louis. It's still a bad matchup for Louisville because if they couldn't play with our size, and we didn't even have our full roster, our full front court depth, they're going to struggle against Auburn. They don't have anybody for Broome. They don't even have anyone for Johnson. Forgot the big McCaldwell. It's a bad matchup. It's a bad matchup.
Good job, buddy.
Tell Cameron to come through, man. Make his crazy cast movie, man.
Cameron, want to come say hi?
It's a lot of mixed reactions right now.
Yeah, there really is.
Some people are saying it's our toughest bracket. It's the toughest bracket. Some people are saying it's our best. Like, I think it's a pretty good draw for Duke. I mean, the second round is going to be tough. It was going to be tough regardless. If Baylor does get to that second round, it's going to be a very tough game.
I mean, sorry to cut you off, but like just looking at some tweets about who's remaining that's going to be in the same region, you're talking, I'm pretty sure UConn, right? They haven't been called yet. And then you get Tennessee. You get Florida, St. John's, Maryland, Texas Tech, and UConn all in the same region.
Yeah, that's no fun. That's no fun. That's no fun at all. But I think Duke got a solid draw. I mean, especially when you make your way down the bracket on the opposite side of the bracket. I think we have some, teams that we match up really well against. I mean, there's not many teams that we don't match up well against, just realistically.
Exactly.
But, Oregon, I thought was one of the weaker 5 seeds. We beat Arizona. We beat Arizona when we were probably our worst version of ourselves. And yes, they did get better. Arizona definitely got better throughout the year, but when we beat them, we were not playing great basketball. And we pretty much manhandled them for the most part. So I'm confident the same thing will happen.
And Iowa State just announced that, I think you pronounce his first name Keyshawn. Yeah, Keyshawn Gilbert, their second leading scorer, will be out going forward.
For the whole year?
TJ Otzelberger said going forward, so he will not be available.
What side of the bracket are they in?
Have they been called yet?
They're in Auburn's side of the bracket.
Auburn, okay.
Wow.
So it is Florida. By the way, I got to be off camera here. I got my baby here, guys. Sorry about that.
All right, all good. All good.
That's crazy. All right, here we go, Florida.
Oh, Florida's in Raleigh. I don't like that because they're gonna bring a crowd. But I mean, Raleigh is Raleigh, man. UConn is in, of course.
Told you. I told
my
you.
goodness, the UConn crowd will travel. They're buying tickets as we speak.
Yeah.
Oh, Oklahoma. Jeremiah Fears, though. Hey.
Tough game, but they're very susceptible to that. I mean, they can't defend.
Who,
Florida,
Oklahoma or UConn?
UConn.
Okay, yeah. I was gonna say
might not need to worry about UConn by round 2. Those fans might have gone home by then.
Yeah. UConn's
Memphis
gonna be one. Everyone and their mother's gonna.
What on earth? What a gift!
Oh my! Weren't they supposed to be an 8 or 9 or 7 or 8?
Memphis is a 5.
Hey man, shout out Nolan Smith, I guess.
That's wild.
Maryland versus
this region. This region is going to be where some like really not really low seed, but a low seed will come out of just because it's gonna cannibalize itself.
People are gonna hype up this Florida UConn game. Listen, if Florida gets to UConn, or they should obviously, if UConn gets out of that first round, I expect Florida to blow them to smithereens. I'm not going.
Oh yeah. If you're doing brackets, it's probably worth it to pick Oklahoma because everyone's going to pick UConn. You might as well be the one that doesn't.
Yeah, I mean that's good gamesmanship. I agree.
That's not even like looking at the matchup. That like you said, gamesmanship at its finest. Missouri with a 6. That was about right, wasn't it?
Yeah, Mizzou playing in Wichita too. I mean, that's a pretty good location for them.
Mark Mitchell, he got hurt, but I think they said he'll be available next week.
Mizzou will get people to a Wichita game, would be my guess.
Yeah, that's Kansas, right? I mean, Kansas. Yeah,
Drake, but Drake's in Iowa. Drake's Iowa. That'll be not far for them either.
Drake might be a tough matchup for them, though.
Their coach is incredible. Texas.
Oh, this region is just loaded, man.
The West, baby.
UNCW.
This is gonna be the region you just throw away your bracket with.
Now this is a region where you pick Florida is what you do.
Hey, it takes one off shooting night, man.
I forgot about Kansas.
Damn, they sent Kansas to Providence too. That's awesome.
Arkansas, that's a hell of a first round. And
Coach Cal versus Bill Self.
Oh my goodness! And Boogie Flan is coming back.
Yeah. Oh
yeah,
man.
but how good can he possibly be?
Boogie Flan, he's a hooper, bro. He's a Bronx kid, bro. They are ready to play immediately.
He's been out for 3 months though, but yeah.
Hey man, he's coming off the bench. They'll probably bring him off the bench. All you gotta do is score.
Dude, it could be Patino versus Cal in round 2. That'd be pretty nice. That'd be sick.
Wow, they set this up. Committee. I don't like when y'all do narratives with us, but this
is awesome.
Also Patino is in Providence. Isn't Patino a Providence guy?
Oh wow.
Isn't that where he's from?
Yeah, I think so.
Or he coached there, or
he coached there for a little bit. Yeah, for sure.
Isn't that I could be tripping on that. But...
Wow. No, he coached at Providence.
No, I think he's a New York guy, Patino.
Yeah, he's a New York guy, but he coached for Providence there for a bit in the 80s.
Don't try to claim.
Dang, dude, this region is nasty work, man.
That Kansas, Arkansas into St. John's. St. John's probably just got screwed. I'm not gonna lie. St. John's.
Yeah, but hey, Kansas is bad. Arkansas is not good either.
Arkansas sucks and Kansas sucks.
Don't overthink it.
You gotta look at talent on the floor. All they gotta do is lock in for one game. When you look at the talent,
how's that worked out for Calipari the last couple of years, man?
Yeah,
sure. But like when you look at Kansas and Arkansas, they have more talent than St. John's.
Kansas, I agree, could be interesting, but Kansas can't shoot, and St. John's does nothing but force people to need to win by shooting threes. Arkansas is not really gonna light them up from 3 either. Right? Neither of those teams' profile is the team that's going to beat St. John's. The type of team that's going to beat St. John's is a team like Florida. Florida's a team that beats St. John's. Right?
I think St. John's is in whoever decides to shoot well against St. John's is in a rude awakening because that offense still doesn't move me. They could defend their ass off. Don't get me wrong. They get in the press and everyone's crumbling, but that offense is still not good to me. So
Texas Tech shoots some threes. Texas Tech shoots threes. Texas Tech could get interesting for St. John's. I don't think Kansas barely shoots threes, and the ones that they do shoot aren't very good. They don't move me at all in that matchup. And then Arkansas, because it's Cal, he never shoots threes. He always has people try to pound it inside. Good luck pounding it inside against St. John's. Are you kidding me?
Damn.
Right?
UNC got in over Mackenzie and Bacco and Sean Stewart, two Duke legends.
I'm surprised West Virginia is out. That's surprising to me.
Texas being in is not surprising, but just man, those records are so ugly. It's
Texas has like 7 wins against the quad one.
I know. I'm not a hater on that. It's just ugly to look at, is all. Dang, what a man! It's March Madness, baby. Let's go.
No Indiana. Mike Woodson, R.I.P.
Yeah. It is interesting though that they took out Indiana and Ohio State and let in Texas and who was the other SEC team? Was there any other SEC team? Because they were expected to get 13 and they got 14 in.
But that's the thing though. If Texas, this goes back to my point, Russ. Texas had to have they factored in the conference tournament because that's the only reason why Texas would be in.
But maybe, but also didn't they win their first games like on Wednesday or whatever, like Wednesday and Thursday? Wasn't that when did they beat Texas A&M? Was that Thursday?
Thursday.
Yeah, the games that they don't pay attention to are like Friday. They definitely don't pay attention to Saturday or Sunday, and it's always been a question mark as to whether they pay attention to Friday at all either. So, yeah, Texas got the win they needed before the committee stopped giving a shit, basically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. UNC was the last team in the field. That's crazy. Bubba did it dirty, man.
Bubba, you are a fool, man. You are a nasty individual. Sicko. You are a sicko. Should be arrested tomorrow. Nasty man. But yeah,
Vegas apparently closed. Indiana was minus 3,000 to make the tournament in Vegas, and Texas was plus 500 to make the tournament in Vegas.
Yeah, man. See, I know.
Wow.
That committee definitely they put some bread down, man. They put
some shenanigans.
The ACC did get 4 teams in, though. I don't care about ACC success, but yeah, there's a point, Eric. They did get 4 teams.
That gives Monty another chance to win his bet against me. With the Elite 8.
Oh yeah. The way they did seeding, though, I don't know if I thought Louisville was going to come in at like a 6 or 7 seed. I don't know if I could go with the that 8-9 matchup. I'm not as confident.
Yeah,
now.
You got Louisville playing Auburn, playing Creighton, and then Auburn. You've got Clemson playing McNeese without Dylan Hunter, and then either Purdue with an All-American Braden Smith or High Point, which is like the highest octane offense in the entire tournament out of all the mid-major teams. And then you've got the winner of Houston Zags after that. The ACC is getting 1 team in the Elite 8. 1.
Sheesh.
Yeah. When was the last time we had a 1 seed? Because I'm not going to lie, it feels real good to be back on that 1 line with a 30-win season.
Paulo's year.
Was it Paulo's year?
Yeah. We were 1 or 2. We were 1 that year.
We had to have been a 1.
Yeah. We had to be a 1.
We were not. We were a 2 seed that year.
Oh, we were 2? Then Zion's year then.
Zion's year, we were 1.
We were the number 1 overall. Yeah.
That was the last.
Yeah, so that puts us at what it's been 7 years. It's crazy.
Yeah, man. Hey, man. John Shire, this was the first, I guess, year he had I don't even want to say that because people are gonna clip it and be like, "Oh, you guys had a great recruiting class the past 2 years." But I'm respectfully, any team that was led, by Flip is not an elite team, elite roster to me. But
Yeah.
I mean, the last 4 1 seeds that we got, so that 2010 title, 2011 Sweet 16, 2015 title, 2019, Elite
Elite
Eight,
Eight.
right?
Elite Eight. Yeah.
We're due. That's what
I mean,
that's what.
again, that's like at least
It makes the
we were
difference.
definitely a 1 seed. 2001, we were definitely a 1 seed.
We were 1 seed from 98 to 2002. All those years we were 1 seed. I'm looking at it now. And then we got it from 04, 05, and 06. And then like you already went through 10, 11, 15, 19, and now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I think the big point being made is like 1 seeds are usually better bets to make the Sweet 16 or to make the second weekend than any other seed, obviously. And then, of course, that means the more times the easier your advancement is the second weekend, the more likely it is you make the Final Four, right? So, like,
so let's zoom out.
They're showing the top 4 seeds by region. This is kind of what I expected, right? I thought they would give us what they viewed as the weakest of the 4 seeds. I don't know if I necessarily agree with their math.
There he is. Get that fraud off the TV, man.
Loser, this freaking criminal.
Wearing his colors too. Get out of here.
Big Bubba the criminal, man. That man is a sicko. You are
San Diego State will give him that work.
Hopefully that will be delightful, and it's on Tuesday. That'll be
well. You
amazing.
remember when UVA snuck in? Was that last year or the year before when UVA snuck in? And it was like, oh, they snuck in, like, see the ACC, and then UVA got like absolutely demolished. You know, like if you're an ACC team and you don't deserve to make the tournament, like basically you either get crushed first night or you make the Sweet 16, like Syracuse did that one time, and like Miami did, and whatever. So Virginia Tech, did they make the Sweet 16 as a crappy 12 seed or whatever?
I don't even remember. But
yeah, and it's crazy. I was just gonna say it's also crazy that just to go back to the point of they don't watch the tournaments. Boise State beat San Diego State on Thursday and didn't matter at all.
Well, yeah, I mean because one game doesn't really matter.
Well, and their net ranking was higher. I mean, there's just again, it's just they're just not watching. These tournaments don't matter, man. I feel like we got to keep. But I feel like the tournaments matter when the committee wants it to work in their favor. But anyways, I digress.
Yes. All right, let's zoom out. Let's zoom out and focus on Duke. This is obviously the full region first.
Boise State had a quad 4 loss, dude.
We're done with Boise State. We're focused on
I know, but I'm just saying that I have no beef with them not making it in.
What do you guys see, I guess, as our potential, or who do you guys see as our potential matchups? The path, obviously, will not be chalk. So don't just say the top seeds.
It might be chalk. Like it might be. I like Mississippi State to beat Baylor, so I think we play them. My kid's chiming in.
He says no chalk, no chalk.
Oregon, I kind of think Oregon is a hard team to prepare for. Like Dean Altman has a good record of making it to the Sweet 16, so I like Oregon instead of Arizona potentially. Although Arizona's dangerous, like they're another one of those up and down teams. And then Alabama, absolutely without question, I have making it to the Elite Eight. So yeah, Mississippi State. Oregon and Bama is my gut, but like it's going to be mostly chalk. I think that the ones that get interesting are like I think Wisconsin might be vulnerable to BYU.
I think VCU could maybe pose some threats to BYU as well.
Ryan,
they were going to be.
Have you watched BYU in this calendar year?
a few, not like start to finish, but I've watched a few.
Name 2 players on BYU.
Oh shit! I know. I can't think. No, I'm not even gonna say a player. I'm gonna say who was in the stands for the game the other day that I was watching. Oh, Andy Reid was in the stands. I was watching that game.
Well,
yeah.
Then never mind. Your bona fides on the BYU.
But I'm just gonna say I I like the VC. I haven't watched VCU enough, but I'm just not ever confident in BYU basically for the last like 8 years. So it's just historical for me. But
Yeah, I mean that's fair. The historical, but they've got more NBA talent this year than like they ever have.
Yegor, whatever his name is.
Yeah, he's sick, and Richie Saunders has been incredible. Yeah, I think BYU could handle. Well, I don't want to say handle Wisconsin, but I think when you look on Torvik, I don't know how it's changed over the last couple of days, but going into the conference tournaments, BYU had been like a top 5 team in the country over the last like 3 or 4 weeks or whatever. Like they've been shooting flames recently, but I think it's mostly chalky in our side of things.
So you don't think Baylor wins that game?
No, I don't. They don't play defense. Like who on that team is going to stop Josh Hubbard? Like Rob Wright? He can't play defense. Jeremy's not defending him. Like Edgecombe,
Josh Hubbard could take himself out of the game too, though.
Maybe, but like I ultimately think at the end of the day, Mississippi State's going to be a little more season. Like, what's Baylor's best win? They beat Kansas. Like that doesn't really like move me. I mean, maybe Baylor. Maybe they beat somebody early in the season, like early, like November. I don't remember who, but yeah, I'm not especially moved by Baylor.
Josh Hubbard, by the way, does shoot 39% from the field. He's a gunner.
Mm-hmm.
He's a gunner.
Yeah, for sure. But it's also like 35% from 3, right? Like it's like a decent. Yeah, and his assist to turnover is good. He's like what, like a 88% free throw shooter, probably at probably pretty high volume would be my guess. Yeah, he's gonna score 20 on Duke. It's a matter of, does he score 20 on Duke in 20 shots, or does he score 20 in 12 shots? Right? Like it's we want it to be the 20 and 20, obviously. The Terrence Edwards special, you know. So so yeah, I don't know. I'm not that worried about. That's right. They beat St. John's.
The Jeremy Roach Hail Mary.
That was also before Kadari was really playing well. Kadari was kind of struggling. They've figured things out now. I don't know, man. I think Jans is also a really good coach. I kind of believe in what he does. Baylor, Scott Drew without Jerome Tang, like, look at their last couple of years in the tournament. It's not been great. It's not been great.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't know. I like Mississippi State there.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, people say this is an interesting question as well. I was going to ask, does Cooper Flagg, do you hold him out for game 1?
I think you play him as long as there's not any like risk to further like it getting worse. Again, I don't know if I like having him be his first game back in a 8-9 matchup.
Yeah,
I don't know. That's tough, man. I just if it's fully healed, you let him play. If it's not, I don't really see a reason to have him play against a 16 seed. But crazier things have now happened. So,
well, if it's not fully healed, then he's not playing. Period. Then it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter who. Like he's got to be able to play without risking bad injury to himself, given what his future is going to look like. I think the fact that they said he's going to be active next week tells me that he will be healthy enough. I think minute restriction in game 1, if they want to do anything, play him like 10, 12 minutes, you know, just let him sit there, shoot some baskets, have him be a little ready for game 2. And again, if in game 2 we're up 10 points, like just instantly sit him just right away. If it gets close, put him back in. But yeah, I wouldn't play Cooper more than just let him get loose, you know.
Yeah.
Get used to the rims, you know.
Icy says play him a full game.
He wouldn't play a full game if he was healthy.
Yeah, I mean, they should take care of him. Me knowing Patriot League team, even Mount St. Mary's team, too. So usually a Patriot League foe as well. You should be taking care of those teams in the first 15 minutes with ease. But yeah, I mean, I like our path. I still think Baylor's going to pull that one out. I feel like they're going to be motivated. I mean, talent-wise, that Baylor team, their talent far exceeds Mississippi State, just off of individual
Right.
sheer talent. But, obviously, Mississippi State is a better team and probably way more battle-tested. But that'll be an interesting matchup. Duke will be essentially playing 30 minutes from campus. So, in terms of playing Cooper, I think, you definitely ease him in. But I think he'll need to be ready on Sunday. He will need to be ready on Sunday because that'll be
for like half the game on Sunday. I mean, like if it comes down, like if the game's real tight, then yeah, you play him. But like, Mississippi State and Baylor, I mean, like, are they notably better than Louisville is? You know what I mean? Like, I think Louisville by the metrics is certainly better than Mississippi State, better than Baylor as well, right? I just don't know if it's worth the risk. Mississippi State is metrically very, very close to UNC, just so that, to give a comparison point.
Listen, you guys know why I probably want Baylor, and I would love to eliminate. We're not going to get into that. No, we're not. We're not going to get into that. We're not going to get it. But yes,
I don't think it'll be Baylor. I don't know. That's just a gut feeling. But Mississippi State, like the SEC was just such a gauntlet. Like even more than the Big 12, it was a gauntlet. Baylor lost what? They lost 14 games. I guess Mississippi State lost 12, but I don't know.
Yeah, Duke fans should be filling out Raleigh though. We should not let UConn or Florida fans factor in there. But
hey, if UConn and Florida fans want to cheer for Baylor when I think we'd have an easier time with Baylor than Mississippi State potentially, then by all means, cheer away.
Oh man. But yeah, I think we can wrap up there. We'll.
Hold on, Zion. You didn't say who you taking in the bracket.
I gotta use the bathroom. But who am I taking in this bracket?
Yeah, you were like, don't take all chalk. Who we facing down the way in the East?
I think Baylor's winning. I think BYU is beating Wisconsin. Well, I don't know much about Montana, so that 3-14 game is usually tricky. But I can't say I know anything about Montana. But I think BYU will beat Wisconsin. Vandy is beating St. Mary's, so I guess that's not chalk. And then Alabama's running through them all because it's just not fair. you can't get a division conference rival in the second round that you've already beat by like 15. It's not fair. Easy path for Bama, but hopefully we get the Duke Bama game because I want that. Actually, I don't want to say I want that, but it's good TV.
Hello. Say go Duke. They're right there. That's us. Say go Duke.
Go Duke.
Oh, nice. There you go.
Cameron, young Cameron.
Say thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
All right, wave bye.
Oh man.
Nice. Good luck, Charm.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, look at the round of 64 results on TV right now. You see that? But the sheer amount of wins that the ones and the twos and the threes have compared to the 4s, 5s, 6, 7s. And then if they show the round of 32 results, it gets even more stark from there. I don't know if I'll actually go there, but what ball are they using, Zion? You're the ball expert.
We'll see. Yo, I did actually crunch those numbers. Like I genuinely went. Well, it was easy to know the Duke games. Obviously, they have a Nike ball, but I definitely went through pictures just to see what ball they had. Then I calculated the numbers like a nerd.
Clark took Clemson and Duke both to be in the Final Four. Monty is going like, "Come on, Jesus!"
Wait, who's the number one in Clemson side?
He said he's taking Clemson to go to the championship game.
Oh hell! All right, man.
Clark, come on, bro. Seth has Michigan State, Duke, Florida, Houston. Yeah. Clark has Clemson beating Houston or Gonzaga.
Clark hasn't watched Clemson all year, bro. He's just
Clark hadn't watched. He was busy watching Ohio State stuff.
he saw they beat Duke this year. He's like, oh, of course they're gonna run through.
Seth has Duke versus Florida in the title game, and Duke winning it all. Jay Wright has Auburn, St. John's, Duke, Houston as his Final Four. I think that's
He's the type to pick Houston over Duke. He is definitely the type to pick.
And he absolutely did. He's got Houston versus Auburn, and he has Auburn as the champion. I mean, I can't fault him for that.
That was very chalky, but okay.
I think this is the sort of year, if you're filling out a bracket, this is the sort of year where maybe you pick some like good upsets early, but not upsets of your ones and twos. Like in particular, the one seeds are, I forget what the stat was. It was something like every team that's been over a certain number on KenPom has made the title game, and we have 4 teams that are that good this year. So like I think the one seeds are very, very safe. I think the 2 seeds are also a really, really good shot to make it to the Elite Eight. I think it's going to be one of those really cool years. We're going to get some cool upsets early, but then in the last like 2-3 rounds, we're going to get the big teams. We're going to get the big games, exactly what we want. Zion, you can wrap up. I'm done. That was it.
Oh man, I was about to. You just making me. All right, we appreciate y'all for doing it, man. I gotta use the bathroom, so go Duke. Great bracket.
Tweet hashtag Zion in the bathroom.
Oh my God. All right, y'all. Peace. We'll see you later.